Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, how is it going, peeps? We got a good one for you today. We are going live now Saturdays. It seems to be working out best for everybody. So we're going to see how it goes today, and we're going to take it from there. But welcome to the Above the Rim with DSA. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of NBA stuff, a lot of Pistons stuff. Right now, I am joined by CA3 Sports Talk. How's it going, CA3?
Not much, man. What's up, man?
Just
I'm just glad I got some free time, man. School been killing me.
Hey man, it's good. It's good to be back talking some basketball. Can you go ahead and give a roll call out? See who we got in the chat today.
Yeah. What's up, Bravo? What's up? What's up, Noble Sports Entertainment? What's up, Michael Mike? What's up, James Willis? What's up, Pick Six Sports? What's up, Devin99? And what's up, Luke G Fear Review? And what's up, Richard? I'm not gonna say your last name because I don't want to mispronounce it. But what's up, Richard?
You know that's the best way to do it. When you don't know how to say a name, you just skip over it because it's hard saying some names, man. But how's it going, everyone in the chat? We're glad you guys are here with us, rocking, talking some basketball. We got a lot of stuff to talk about and less time to do it in. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it, man. Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose are due back at literally any moment. Blake Griffin has been officially cleared for all NBA basketball activities. Very, very big. He did not travel with the team in Indiana. I'm okay with that. But I think he's going to be closer to playing rather than sitting out more. So, CA3, man, how good is this team going to be when Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin officially come back and can play together?
Yeah, I feel when Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin come back, they'll be a top 5 team in the East because I love how we're playing without some of our top scorers because I feel last year the bad one of the biggest flaws of the Detroit Pistons was that we couldn't play without Blake and that we relied on Blake too heavily, and this season it's not. I haven't. And from this season, I can't really say that about the Pistons that they're going to rely on Blake too heavily.
Man, absolutely. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this team. Why, quite frankly, our two best scorers are out. Luke Kennard has stepped up and been huge. J-Mo, man, you there?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
How's it going, man? How you doing today?
What's good, man? What's up, everybody?
I'm going to throw you right into it, pass the question over to you. Since Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose are close to coming back, how good are the Pistons going to be when those two officially can come back and play together?
I would say we'll be out of the first round. That's what I would say. I also would say we would be a top 4 or 5 seed. And I think we could be a 4th or 5th seed. We just got to see how it works out. But I think the team is only going to get better because, you're going to have Blake scoring and D Rose. And the team without Blake and D Rose have built chemistry. Even the few games that D Rose was out, they've been able to build some chemistry. Dwayne Casey is figuring some things out. Even though we're losing some games, I mean, you don't have your two best players, not just scorers, players.
Right.
I can't believe D Rose was the second best player, well, the third best player because we got Andre, but you know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy that D Rose is that good now. But I think we're doing really good. I have a lot of faith in this team because, it's different than the NFL where if you watch your team lose, you can be pissed off. But I can watch the Pistons lose without Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, And Luke Kennard has been balling like I always said he should. I know he was struggling starting early on, but my man's Luke Kennard, I'm telling you, he should be starting. just gotta find his rhythm, even when Blake and D Rose come back.
Man, I think balling's an underestimated word there. He's been playing extremely well for this team. Yeah. Bravo, man. How's it going?
How's it going, everybody?
Man, I'm glad to have you on. Glad you joined in. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you into the fire.
Up, Bravo?
I'm off.
You're Bravo. I hear your voice, man.
Hey, what's up, Carl? What's up, J-Mo?
So, Bravo, man. Let's get your take on this, man. When Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose can officially come back and play, how good are the Pistons going to be with those two healthy?
I think we're going to be better.
That's all you got? That's all you got? The big anticipated return of Bravo, and that's all you got.
That's all I'm gonna say because I've already seen my Pistons. I'm already disappointed in the season already. I'm already had a lot of hopes on those easy games, and we already lost some games. Unfortunately, we cannot lose to the Washington Wizards. I'm sorry about that. Even with no D Rose, no Blake, no Reggie Jackson, we should not be losing to the Washington Wizards. Anyways, I'm overreacting, but to answer your questions, definitely, I mean, excited to see Blake and D Rose. I think we're going to be better, but the question is, are we going to be as good as Miami Heat? I'm not sure.
No, but
I was gonna say, Bravo. I know you said we shouldn't lose to the Washington Wizards, but I'm gonna ask you this: who has the best player on the court in that basketball game?
The Wizards.
The Wizards.
Exactly. So by default, they should win. And especially when we don't have Blake, that's just the way that I look at it. The best player on the floor is Bradley Beal and his team, and they have Roy Hachimura. They got a lot. They have some talent over there. They got Mo Wagner over there.
Thomas Bryant is solid, man. Thomas Bryant is very solid.
So
I
that's
don't
why I
know
don't
about
feel
that.
that we're so undermanned. We don't really have a point guard at all. Like you can't win them all.
I mean, it's hard to win for any team when your top two scorers are out, bro. It's hard to win, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to win, I know, but it's just disappointing too. You can't just lose like that. The way we lost to the Pacers yesterday, we were leading by 13 points. We can't just let them be like this. It's simple.
Well, you have to look at it this way, though, man.
That's on
When you
Dwayne
don't,
Casey, man.
it's on Dwayne Casey. A lot of it is, but Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard don't have a whole lot of experience playing point guard. They're still learning how it all works. They have the talent, and I think both of those players have shown flashes of being a really good point guard for us, but they're still learning how to be it. And they're turning the ball over at times, and that's really what's costing us. Then you have Dwayne Casey over here who is just throwing random people out there who shouldn't be in the game at a certain point of time. He's playing Thon Maker too much. Thon Maker couldn't stop a leaky faucet at this point, man. He's been playing absolutely trash. So, I mean, a lot of it is
hot garbage, bro. Thon Maker is even worse than he's even worse than Stanley Johnson because at least Stanley could lock down people. Garbage.
I don't understand why Dwayne Casey just takes away all Thon Maker's minutes and all the Christian Woods, bro. Game, bro. No point. He has no purpose.
I said this in a video. I'm thinking Christian Wood is our Stanley Johnson to Stan Van Gundy to Dwayne Casey, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is every time Stanley Johnson did something minute wrong, he got pulled out of the game instantly by Stan Van Gundy. And it seems it's the exact same scenario here with Christian Wood. He didn't pass a ball when the shot clock was going down. He did a bad shot. Dwayne Casey took him out of the game like instantly. This guy's young, man. He has given us a jolt of energy off of this bench. We need it. We absolutely need it, especially when someone like Andre is in foul trouble. Thon Maker is not doing anything good on offense or defense. I think you got to roll with Wood, man. Absolutely, but it's on Dwayne Casey to keep him in the game and give him some good minutes, and he's not doing that.
I mean, I don't know. He can't stop a soul in the paint, and then he can't shoot to save his life. I mean, there's no point in the game. There's no point.
I mean, there's a lot wrong with this team right now, and I think a lot of it's going to be fixed when Derrick Rose comes back. So let me ask you this, guys: when Derrick Rose comes back, probably before Tim Frazier, way before Reggie Jackson comes back, are we going to start Rose or keep him off the bench and continue to start Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown? J-Mo, I'm going to go ahead and pass that one to you, man. All right, Carl, I'm going to pass that one to you then, I guess.
Yeah, I would say I keep him on the bench. I like the way I like his bench role. Like, I like how he brings his spark off the bench. Like, and Derrick Rose at this point of his career, like, I prefer him as a sixth man rather than a starter. That's just my opinion. Because I feel like he provides that spark off the bench, and I don't want him playing like starters minutes. I mean he already playing like starters minutes, but I don't want him playing like like a lot of minutes because I don't want him. I don't want.
What's that, Bravo?
Yeah, the voice is not good quality. I can't hear you very well.
Are you on your phone?
I don't know why. I think I'm on the phone and I'm using a different app. It's not like the Hangouts.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're using it on your phone, you can't close out of it. You got to stay on the app. You can't go anywhere with it.
Let me use the computer then. Okay.
Yeah, it works way better than a computer. So, J-Mo, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to you, man.
I would rather. I mean, Blake Griffin is gonna be back, so it's a little bit different. But I would just keep him off the bench for now and just let Bruce and Luke Kennard make their mistakes in the starting lineup. D Rose, as he had to do when he was healthy, he has to come in, clean up everything, get the offense going, score all the points, get everybody where they're going. Maybe ball hog and ball stop a little bit because he's gonna do that. And that's D Rose. So and he can score points. So I'd rather just let the young guys just let them be out there as long as possible because they're not really gonna have an opportunity like this unless people get hurt again. So and then Blake Griffin will be back at worst, by Monday. So he'll be back like in a few days. When Blake Griffin come back, it's over.
I
feel
think
like we're gonna go on a winning streak. We're gonna be a really serious problem.
Well, here's the thing about Blake Griffin coming back. I don't think it's going to be the same Blake Griffin that we're going to expect. I still don't think he's 100% healthy. So the Pistons are going to have to put him on a minute restriction. He's probably not going to see much over 25 minutes. They're not going to be playing him a lot of minutes. He's not going to be playing back-to-back. So I think that the Pistons are going to have to manage Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin pretty good because whenever we have to play the most back-to-backs in the league, and I think we got one this week, you're going to have to play. Go ahead.
We watched Blake ball on one leg, so I'm not really concerned. Even if he isn't as good as he was last year, I know he's gonna be good enough to be a star when we need him to. So I'd rather him be on a minute restriction anyway, because you got to be. I don't know. I feel like we could actually get out the first round this year, so we got to be real careful.
But do you want Blake playing on one leg the entire year? No. Don't you want him to get healthy?
No, Blake's not on one leg now. He got two legs.
What I'm saying is, like when Blake first comes back, I believe they should put him on a minute restriction because I don't want the same episode to happen that happened last year. So, keep him on a minute restriction and slowly work him in. But I think we'll see the same Blake, as time goes on.
Well, take last night's example for Blake Griffin. Yeah. Andre got into foul trouble, and in a short amount of time, Indiana went crazy. For the Pistons, if that scenario happens again when Blake comes back, he's got to play all of his minutes right there to keep the gap. Because when Andre goes out, our defense does not stand a chance. We can't stop anybody. We couldn't stop a thing. We couldn't stop a soul. With Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose coming back, at least they'll be able to trade buckets and keep up offensively. Andre went out, and we looked like a completely different team. I believe the stat that they showed why Andre was out there at the time, we were a plus 11 team. And the exact minute, after a minute after he got out, I think he got out with the last four, we were minus 15. That is a statistic that not many people are going to look at and say, man, Andre is good. A lot of people were calling him a bum still in my video yesterday, and it's not the case. Without Andre playing, Blake Griffin or Derrick Rose or not, this team is not going to do good. Andre is the motor behind this team. So when he does get in a foul trouble like he did last night, you need Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose. So when they do come back, my point being is to play them in those minutes where Andre is not involved in the game, so that way Blake could get his 20 points there, and we would have won last night. We would have won pretty handily. Just with Derrick Rose, we're missing that score. We can just give the ball to say, go get a bucket. Yeah, we don't have that right now.
Yeah, I would say that, right now this season, I'm happy with the way Andre's playing. I feel like he's playing more motivated than he's ever played. And I feel like he's trying to carry the team. And I feel like I think that's good because I felt last year sometimes he wouldn't he would play a minimal effort. I don't see that this year.
So speaking of Andre, he's been going pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy.
He's been having a career year so far. I think last night was one of his worst games due to foul trouble. If he was not in foul trouble, man, who knows? He probably could have had a triple-double. So, Carl, man, the way that Andre's been balling, if he can keep this up for the remainder of the season and play at this level, do you have any problem paying him the money he wants?
No, I mean, because I feel like Andre, especially in this league right now, I mean, he's a very unique talent because there's no way in this league that's rebounding like him. Dude literally has, I think, like 4 20 games, and like this, and we haven't played that many games yet. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, he's a very unique talent. I mean, we need to pay him. I mean, if he plays motivated like that, I mean, he's been beasting like that. Yeah, we need to pay him.
I mean, it's a lot of money. I think that he's looking at close to $50 million a year. It's a tough choice. J-Mo, man, I am very curious to hear your thoughts on this. If Andre can keep playing the way he's playing so far this season, do you have any problem with paying Andre the max?
I will pay him the max, not the super max, though. He's playing well enough to deserve a max contract. Yeah, I'll give him a max. I don't have any problem with how he's playing specifically, but when you were saying that the defense is trash when he goes to the bench, to me that's just trash coaching. We got plenty of players that can play some defense, and it's just up to Dwayne Casey to put out the right type of lineup with that. But with Andre, man, just stay consistent and you'll get the max.
Do you think the Pistons will offer it to him, or do you think another team's going to offer it to him?
I mean, of course the Pistons going to offer it. Especially if we have a successful year, you know.
Right.
I don't think that they have any problem offering. You know, Tom Doors is in love with Andre, so you know they're gonna pay him the money. But pay him a super max, I will be very upset.
Hey, Tony.
Extra 30, 40 million, man, it's gonna add
up. Tony's making a great point right here. He said Langston Galloway is having a career year so far on an expiring contract. Why isn't anyone talking about him?
Because he's garbage. Sorry, dog. I don't care what Langston Galloway does. It's a fluke. He's what you call consistently inconsistent. So that's what he's gonna do. He's doing that now. 2 months from now, Galloway is gonna be horrible. So he get way too many minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why nobody's talking about him because we know where he is. Langston Galloway ain't nothing to talk about.
I mean, the thing about Langston Galloway, I feel like at times, like he kind of tries to fool you, like sometimes I see Langston Galloway play, he be balling, and then the next game he's complete trash. I mean, like I don't know what to expect from Langston Galloway sometimes, he when he plays trash, he plays so trash that you expect trash every night,
Yeah.
You gotta admit though, he's got a pretty cool pair of shoes every game though, dude. His shoe collection.
No, go ahead, Drew.
So the only thing good he's got going for him is his shoe collection.
Yeah, for real.
I seen he had a pair of those Flint Tropics. And I was like, I gotta cop those, but he never sold them. So
look, this is what I'm saying. All he's doing is his job. He's shooting the ball well. I'll give him credit for that. He's shooting the ball well, but I don't know where the defense is. Sometimes he's still missing layups. Galloway he's a conundrum to me. I just don't understand him, the way he plays and stuff. So.
Well, the thing about it though is he's a good bench player. Like you're not gonna expect him to score 20 points every night.
But he gets starter minutes, and that's why I don't like him.
And the real problem about it is Stan Van Gundy giving him the money that he did. He is not worth as much as he is making right now. And that's really the real problem I have with Langston is just the bad contract and getting minutes over people like Mihailuk that we want to see more minutes of, although Mihailuk is struggling a little bit on defense. We want to see Kyrie Thomas play more, and we're not seeing them. And I think Langston Galloway is kind of in the way. And while he's scoring, it's good. He has these hot streaks. But like you said, give him 2 months, and he's going to go on a cold streak. And we're like, why are we playing Langston? Why is he still here?
Exactly.
Bravo, man. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about Langston Galloway so far? Why is no one talking about Langston?
So first of all, I want to talk about the voice quality. I mean, I'm sorry that I've been unable to stay consistently because the voice keep cutting on my phone. Is there a problem with the phone, or what do you guys think about that first?
You're good, man.
I mean, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
The problem with the phone is you just can't leave the app, and it'll mess everything up. You got to just stay put on the app.
Okay. So go back to your question, Langston Galloway. I consistent this year, and I think he is one of our better bench players at this point, if not even the second best bench player we have on our team right now, considering the fact that point guards and Blake are injured. So I think he's been consistent, and there is a case of giving him like a 2 to 3 million salary in the next couple of years. I think we give him like a 2.5, like a Reggie Bullock contract, maybe up to 4 million. The guy, if he keeps bring it up like this, he's a good shooter out there. So, but we know what's gonna happen in the next couple of months. We'll obviously see if he is consistent or not.
Yeah, but the thing with me with Langston is you can never have too many good shooters. I'm never gonna say that, but he can shoot better than Langston. I don't care about percentages. I know basketball. So all the minutes that he's getting, and then C can play point guard. Like all those minutes that he's been getting, it can go to somebody like that. We got. I mean, I was glad to even see Jordan Bone get into the game, but Jordan Bone get a 4-minute stretch at the end of the game. But with Kyrie Thomas, he was shooting well in the summer league from 3-point range. So we have guys that can shoot. And Kyrie Thomas can play defense too. So I don't know, man.
I mean, there's just a lot of rotation with these guys that we want to see we're not seeing. So in order to make room for it, and I'm seeing a lot of it in the chat. We got a lot of trade rumors going around right now. Who is somebody on this roster you want traded? For me, right now, it's Thon Maker, man. Thon Maker is getting way too many minutes and is not doing a thing. Okay. I have never seen someone struggle so hard to handle a rebound, man. It looks like he's got a bar of soap in his hand in the shower, and he just can't grab it. It's pathetic. He gets a block every once in a while.
That would be a wrap for Thon, man.
Is that your answer, Thon? I think that's going to be everyone's answer.
I mean, I hate to be,
I mean, not just Thon, Reggie, Langston, the Three Stooges.
I mean, I hate to sound like, like everybody else, but, I mean, it's got to be Thon, though. He been playing like garbage, man. He's not improving his game at all. Like, I expect him to improve his game. Like, you're doing all these workouts, trying to get more post moves and stuff, but, I mean, it's not working. And then, like, you can't, play any defense in the paint. I know you just get babied every time. Like, I mean, there's really no purpose to have him on the team. Like, Christian Wood should take all his minutes.
Well, I think Christian Wood's really more of a power forward, but the league's transitioning to a positionless league,
Yeah.
I like Christian Wood better than Thon Maker at this point. I was skeptical of it because I didn't really know that much about Thon Maker when we first got him. So then when I see him, he comes in here, gets a block right away. I'm like, oh man, this is what we needed. Same thing with Christian Wood. Did not know much about when we got him, and he is playing way better than Thon Maker has ever played for the Detroit Pistons. So I want to give Wood more minutes, man, because he still needs to develop. He's still going to get better, and you need that energy when Andre's out of the game.
I mean, the thing about Thon Maker, like,
remember, I told you about Christian Wood. I told you that Thon Maker shouldn't make the team because of Christian Wood.
You did.
We could have added maybe a Dante Hall on the team. I would have been perfectly fine with him being on the team instead of Thon Maker, honestly, and 100% honest. So, I mean, he needs to go.
I mean, like, the thing about Thon Maker is just like
in the building, man. Hold on. We got Nolan Jay in the building, man. What's up?
What's up, DSA? What's up, Bravo? Everybody in the chat, what's happening?
Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I said the thing about Thon Maker is just like sometimes like he'll have his streaks where he'll play very well. Cause like I've seen him play well before. Like one time, like I think it was it 2017, 2016 when he was playing with Giannis against the Raptors, and Giannis and him were eating, man. But like it's just like then Thon Maker would just play like garbage, like the other half of the season. Like it makes no sense.
So you said the last good game he had was in 2017?
No, I'm saying like I've seen Thon Maker play well, but I just have
That was the
like
last time you saw him play well, though. That's my
I
point.
mean the last time I saw him play well was when he hit the game winner in front of my face in Atlanta. That's the last time I seen him play well. So I don't know.
Man,
I
that
remember
was a
that
fluky
game.
shot.
That's it. You said what?
Now that was the flukiest shot. That was the flukiest shot
I
ever. That
know.
shot made me think Thon Maker was. I was like, oh snap, he about to be a player for us. Trash. Didn't do
What's
nothing
good,
after that.
99?
Bro, like I remember that shot happened live, bro. I went crazy, but he hasn't been the same since then. I don't know what happened.
Nomus.
What's going on?
Well, I don't know if you heard the topic before you joined in, but the topic is who's the one player you want to get off of this team traded right now? Everyone else went Thon Maker. No, do you got a different answer, or is that going to be your answer as well?
I actually got a package deal because I
Oh.
feel like the best way to get rid of him is to throw somebody else in that's actually playing decent.
Langston,
Yeah, I was gonna say Langston Galloway. While the iron is hot, put him in a package deal with Thon Maker right now, man. I fully agree with J-Mo. We can have Dante Hall develop and be had. Him and Christian Woods and combo. Markieff Morris running at center and power forward. I think what it is, Thon Maker, he fed for a moment because we didn't have really no bigs. But what we need him to do, it's almost like we don't know what to do in the same way the Bucks is. He's not quite the rim protector that you need out of a center. He tries to play defense, but it's just he's stale, man. We have to find a way to get rid of him, even if you have to use him as a package deal with a salary dump kind of thing, and see if we can get something lesser off the deal. We have to find a way to move him for something that's gonna help because we need a solid rim protector to come off the bench behind Andre Drummond. You know, when you look at Christian Woods, the guy is an athletic scorer. He can definitely get 2 points. We already know what Markieff can do, especially when you get Blake Griffin back. We need a strong-nosed defender that can rim protect off the bench. I think that's what the direction we need to go for. Do you put Dante Hall in and replace him? I say yeah, if he's still around, or find somebody to replace him. But we need to find a way to move him. And the reason why I throw Langston Galloway in there is because he's not playing bad at the moment. So to me, his stock should be a little bit up. And no offense to him, but he's still on the I can't trust this. So I gotta throw him in there.
Don't want to cut you off, no, if you got more to say, but real quick, thank you, Kane WWE, for the $5. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. We all appreciate it. If you guys have not already, be sure to hit that like button, man. I'm not sure what the ratio is right now, but I'm sure it's not at 100%. Let me check right quick. We got 29 in the chat, only 16 likes. Let's get that 29 likes up right quick. Every like helps. Before we go any further, I want to say thank you guys for everyone who came to the round table this Thursday to support King. Very, very meaningful to all of us. So I want to thank everyone personally. I know King appreciated it. We had a good turnout. You guys rock. We all appreciate you guys. So thank you very much. Everyone in the DSA is down below in the description. Be sure to follow them and subscribe to them. They all have Twitter as well. My Twitter and Instagram are in the description as well. So follow me on those social medias. Like I said, all DSA members are in the description. So if you're not subscribed to them already, go ahead and do so now. So I think everyone's pretty much in agreement with who we are going to trade. But here's the real question for you, fellas. What are we going to get in return for the people that we are trading? I know Reggie and Langston are expiring contracts. I'm not sure about Thon. But if we package those guys together, what are we looking to get? I'm not just talking players, but what types of players are we going to get in return?
Less is more. We can get rid of all of them, and I'll take draft picks and flip the draft picks for something else later on down the road. Because I don't think we need any of these players. I think we have an overabundance of players, and then we have a lack of a center position. So maybe that's where you want to go, and you want to go and get you a center. But other than that, I think we'll be just fine just with getting draft picks. I'm perfectly fine with getting draft picks for Langston Galloway and Reggie Jackson and Thon Maker. Yeah, throw that trash away. I'll take some draft picks and maybe a young center that something that don't nobody care about, something like that.
Devin99 says D'Lo. D'Lo just dropped 50
How
points.
are we getting D'Lo? D'Lo, Golden State gonna want Andre Drummond if want D'Lo.
I couldn't imagine sending Andre over to Golden State when Clay and Steph come back, man. That'd be a wrap.
Man, Andre go to Golden State, man. They gonna win like 2 championships.
I mean, and then D'Lo has a monster contract as well, so you got that consideration.
Yeah, but his contract would not be as big as Andre.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Miss J, man. Who are we going to get in equal value in return if we're trading all 3 of those players away?
Well, that's just it. I don't think you will, and that's partially due because of Reggie. You got to understand, people, even though he's on his last year, the only way I feel like you can trade him is if you take on like a bigger contract, kind of like on last year, almost like not Don Maker, but the Tony Snell scenario. Like they did that because it was just trying to dump his salary on another team. That's why we got that first round pick. Nothing like that's why we won't be able to trade him in a 3-person package. But again, Lance Galloway and Don Maker together, yeah, and that may still also come down to a salary dump situation. We may actually get a draft pick that's probably good, but we're probably going to end up having to be forced to take on the contract. So it may come down to whatever player we end up getting, whatever position. That's why what makes that so hard, because we don't know who, and it's hard to think like who could be the guys. I don't think we'll get anybody like D'Lo, for God's sakes, especially if we were to package all 3. But at the end of the day, you gotta understand, look at the mentality of teams. Who in their right mind want to take Reggie and give up the first round pick for him? Or, unless they're trying to dump off a salary cap player that they don't want anymore. That's the only way. Who really out there fishing for Reggie that hard? Nobody. Nobody's trying to give up a draft pick. But again, Don Maker and Lance Galloway are on cheaper deals, so you can probably get a steal away. But with coming with a draft pick, you got to take a contract you're probably not too happy to take. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to look at it that way. So it's kind of like it's kind of like an eye for eye thing.
Reggie's contract is about to be up. I think some teams would take him.
Yeah, but see, that depends on. You remember one time that depends on like how a player is playing on their team. If they need like major depth, maybe around trade deadline, they may get desperate.
Some teams that need some point guards. We can trade them to the Lakers.
I don't think the Lakers want Reggie due to the fact of the matter. Although he can shoot the ball technically and do a couple things right.
They might want him. Why wouldn't they? He actually will be the only point guard on the team besides Rondo, I guess.
I don't want to cut you guys off in the middle of your conversation here, but no, Mr. I need you to do me a favor, man. I need you to keep talking because every time I pass it to you, we go ahead and get a super chat. This one's from Bravo. He's sending $4.99 as well. He says Galloway has some value now. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but I think a lot of you guys are hitting on the nail right on the head. Is no one's really going to be out here fishing for these guys, and I think we'll get a couple draft picks for them, but we're probably not going to get a first for Langston. We probably won't get a first for Thon Maker. We might be able to get 2 seconds for Reggie. I'm not sure what the market for it is, but I don't see us getting a good draft pick out of all 3 of these guys. Maybe if we package them together, who knows? So if we trade those guys away for draft picks, who will we bring in up? Personally, I think we should bring Sekou up, let him experience the NBA roster. And if we're trading away Thon Maker, I want to see Dante Hall brought up because at least he will try to block some shots. CA3, man.
I mean, yeah.
If we're trading these guys away, who do you want to bring up and who's filling these spots if we don't get any players for them?
I agree with the 2 players you mentioned. I want to see Dante Hall, man. That dude was a test in the summer league, man. I want to see if he can do that in the league. And I want to see Sekou. I mean, he needs to get some experience in the league, like instead of just putting him in the G League, him getting no experience. So I want to see him. I want to see them both play.
I believe Sekou played for the Drive the other night and played 10 minutes and had 12 points or something like that. The ratio was good for points to 50%,
50% shooting.
Yeah, so that is it's good to see. It's good to see. I wish he would play a little bit better, but I mean, when you play a little bit minutes and you score more points than you do minutes, I'm going to take that, especially from a guy who's only 18. JMO, man, if we do not get any of these players off of a trade, who are we bringing up from the G League?
Well, Dante Hall, but definitely, most importantly, Sekou. I've always told y'all he should have been starting from day one. Now, I don't agree with that now, but he definitely, and I feel like the one thing that has me upset about him being in the G League is Blake is hurt, D Rose is out, our team is kind of hobbled. This is a time where you could throw a rookie in for some of those spot minutes that you could use, and your coach isn't even smart enough or doesn't believe in Sekou enough to even throw him out there against some of the track. Like we played the Knicks, telling me Sekou couldn't play 10 minutes against the Knicks. Like,
Right.
come on, man. Like, so, it's just ridiculous, but I think we need to bring him up immediately because one thing I was always saying, as young as he is and as raw as he is, one thing is he's great in transition. He has dribbling skills enough to be able to, pass the ball and not get ripped up. And, he can rebound. So my thing was the only way a young player like that is going to get better is being in the league. Even if the league is too much for that player, it could be any player. The only way they're going to get better significantly is being in the league and experienced in the NBA. But bring him up. Definitely bring Dante Hall up. And let's see if we get it. I doubt Reggie will get traded, but if we trade him, see if Jordan Bone can get
This just popped in my head. But if Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard continue to play decent at point guard, I think that puts more, I don't want to say pressure, but a better chance of the Pistons going ahead and trading Reggie, because you're going to develop one of these guys eventually into one of your start. This could be our future backcourt of a starting 1 and 2 guard. Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard could be our starters someday if we can develop them right.
Combination.
I've been saying, what have I been saying since last year?
Start Luke Kennard
and Bruce. I was like, if you don't want to have Luke Kennard out there because you want Bruce out there playing defense, and I was like, just put Reggie on the bench then. You didn't like that, and I've been saying it all day. You have them two as your starting backcourt, and you had D Rose and all. It'd be great. I think they could be something. I like what you said there.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from it, man, because they're mixing it up. Really, not one of the people, Luke Kennard or Bruce Brown, is really playing the 1 or the 2. They're both playing the same position. One possession, guess what? Bruce Brown's bringing it up. Next one is Luke Kennard. They're both playing point guard and shooting guard at the same time.
Not to cut you off, nobody knows where that ball is being thrown to either. You don't
exactly.
know
It's not beautiful right now, but they're working at it. They're getting better. Right.
And I might as well go next now. Now, y'all, and especially in this situation, obviously I agree with the whole Dante Hall thing, of course, Sekou. But I feel like we can't forget about right now, especially while D Rose is out. Why are we not playing Kyrie Thomas as the backup point? Because we could use his shooting ability, and he can pass too and penetrate. So why are we not using him off the bench as an immediate scorer to shoot the ball? That's who I would bring up if you're getting rid of Reggie, because he would be the exact immediate person we've been talking about where he's been. Well, that would be your opportunity to get him there. Jordan Bone probably still could use another year to develop on his mechanics to really make a push, but Kyrie's been here since Bruce. So, at least he could be, as of right now, he should be getting minutes. Anyway, regardless of Reggie being traded or not, he should be getting minutes at the moment because we got so many guards missing. We don't want to burn Luke Kennard and, Bruce Brown, because Bruce Brown may not have a game where he plays too well offensively, and he could put more on Luke. So you need another guy who can help offset that scoring and shoot the ball at that guard position. And I think that's why Kyrie should be getting minutes right now.
Well, the thing I don't get about Jordan Bone, man, is he's supposed to be a scorer. Like what I've seen from him so far, especially in the summer league and a little bit of the preseason, he didn't play much in the preseason. This guy's got a nice mid-range jumper off the pick and roll. Put him out there with Andre. Andre's going to set him some screens. He's going to have open jumpers. It's what Luke Kennard's doing right now. Luke is shooting a ton of mid-range jumpers off of the pick, and it's working. And if you plug these young guys into a system that works like that, they're going to thrive. Kyrie, I want to see him go out there and play his defense. If you get him and Bruce Brown out there and lock a backcourt up, hey, that's Detroit mentality right there. I want to see it, and it might not work. But we're not going to know if it's going to work if they're never going to play out there, and that's on Dwayne Casey. So this brings me to the next question.
With Jordan,
what's that?
With Jordan Bone, though, I do looking at how good Fred VanVleet is right now, and seeing how good him and Jordan Bone were in like college, they were similar level of players. I think he will develop Jordan Bone into somebody really special for us as long as he stays on the team or whatever. But the thing about Jordan Bone is you were bringing up his mid-range jumper and he's a scorer. Jordan Bone is just what I call simply he's a really skilled basketball player. Simply.
Yeah.
He can shoot. He can shoot the mid-range. He can lay the ball up. He can shoot the three-pointer. He's a point guard and he can pass. He led his team in assists when they were at Tennessee. So he can do that as well. I'm not saying he's, great at it, but he can do it. So, and he has this special ability where he's faster than everyone else. Not everyone, but he's faster than most people. So that's just a natural gift on top of his skills, which is why he needs minutes.
I watched him at Tennessee, a lot because Tennessee was a really good team. I think he was kind of like he's kind of like the off. He kind of was a playmaker of the offense. He had other good players like Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams playing with him, but
he was like
he was still able to get his own. He was like the playmaker of the offense. I felt like he was just a very skilled basketball player. He didn't. There's nothing really flashy about his game, but he was just very skilled.
Yeah, I think you hit to the point back in the summer league. You said he was like the quarterback of that team. Basically, if you go to Football Rim, so that's what he was. Yeah. Basically, he was their Chauncey Billups, and that's what I think of when I look at him. He's a guy who, if you need him to play like a 2-guard more, he can do that. But he can actually switch over and play the point guard just as well. And it's not too many guards that you can think of that can switch that ability like that. So you get a lot of guys who, more like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard type of guys, and you get a lot of guys who are more like, D-Lo and, who guys who could just really shoot the ball, or either Terry Rozier who could really play make and be a point guard. So you got a lot of guys who do certain type of things, but it's not too many guys I think that can do like multiplicities stuff and things like that. Like he can switch over and be wherever you need him to be. That's what I look at. That's what I like about him.
If you guys have not already, hit that like button. Please do so to show some love and support. We got 34 watching right now, only 27 likes. If you guys have already hit the like, put that down in the comment section below so that way I know that you have and I won't call you out on it later. This next question is coming in from Luke G, man. Luke G sent this question for us, so we're going to show our versatility here. Luke is a football YouTuber asking us basketball questions, and it's kind of on the right path of what we're talking about. I'm going to put a little bit of twist on it because I don't know if this is true or not. His original question is Coach Casey the best head coach the Pistons have had since Larry Brown? We have had some very, very bad coaches. Personally, I think he is, but he's not on Larry Brown's level, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, clearly not.
So let's do this. I'm gonna adjust the question, Luke. Don't get mad at me. What are the positives and negatives about Dwayne Casey? Nomus, I'm going to pass it to you. You're going to go ahead and take this one first, man.
Okay. I'll actually try to answer both if I can. The positive and negatives on Dwayne Casey. Positives are obviously he's a player-friendly coach. He actually, for us, it's good because he actually won playoff games and series and nearly touched the finals. We've seen what he can do on building the roster. The things we don't obviously like about him is his adjustment skills and how he manages the game. Sometimes it kind of looks boneheadish for a guy his caliber, But the thing is, to answer Luke G's original question is, it's debatable. You want to say yeah, it's him, but I still feel like you get this roster to a better coach that y'all may not like, and that was Mo Cheeks. I wonder how we would have been. I actually thought there was potential with him. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you got to look at the roster he had compared to one that Dwayne Casey has right now. I think Dwayne Casey is able to bite off a little bit more fairly than what he had. What he had to deal with. That's why I don't think it's fair to say that Mo Cheeks wouldn't be a good coach for the Pistons either, because he didn't really, to me, have a full fair opportunity with a good roster. and he never really got a chance to build a roster properly. You seen what they were doing, the organization. So that's why I had to kind of leave it up in there between those two. But for now, I had to go with Dwayne Casey on the match because he is in here right now in the moment. But that back of my mind, I had to still think about Mo Cheeks.
That's a good point, man. I still to this day don't understand why we fired Mo Cheeks. We were pretty close to making the playoffs. We were in that race with Mo Cheeks. And then they fired him. And then we just flopped. So I'm with you there, man. I liked Mo Cheeks. I'm not sure if he would have been on Dwayne Casey's level or not because Dwayne Casey has won Coach of the Year. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Casey the nod there. A lot of people in the chat are saying Flip Sanders. That's a good one. But, he pretty much had the same team Larry Brown did. And, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals a lot. He's been here longer than Casey. So let's give Casey the same amount of time. But I think Flip Sanders is probably the answer. I'm liking the Flip Sanders one. So, CA3, man.
I mean, it's kind of hard to answer Luke's question, but I guess I'll answer the positive and negatives. I mean, the positive of Dwayne Case, just like you say, he's a player-friendly coach, and he has, I feel like we benefit from his experience, and very, I guess, getting deep in the playoffs and very crucial playoff series. Like he's been to Eastern Conference Finals versus LeBron before. He's been close to the finals before. I feel like we benefit from that. But I feel like negatives, sometimes I question his rotations. And I feel like at times he's a little too stubborn sometimes, just to, to make adjustments. So, yeah.
And I think you guys are hitting it on the right there on the head, man. Dwayne Casey is probably one of the most loved coaches from the players. You see the love he gets every time he plays against Kyle Lowry or DeRozan. Those two people love Dwayne Casey. So when your players, especially your star players, have that much love and respect for you, that's a good sign because that helps people buy into what you're selling. At the same time, the rotations have not been good at all because the Pistons have talent across the board, and you could put Thonmaker in positions to do good. Thon does better in short stints than playing long minutes. Dwayne Casey has yet to realize that. J-Mo, man, have you heard the question?
Yes.
Let's see what you got for us then, man.
Saunders to me is a better coach. I just simply put, even if he did have the team that he had, you got to work with what you got, right? Also, I would say Dwayne Casey, his positive and negative. Oh my! Prepare yourself. Okay, so the positives. Let's start with the bright side. I guess he gets more out of the players and has them produce more. He can call some defensive plays and some offensive plays. He inspires the team. He's a good leader for the locker room, and he has deep in the playoffs, things of that nature. But there's a lot of negatives, man. Because first of all, he has this old school mentality, so he's stubborn, and in this new age, that doesn't work. Second of all, he plays favoritism, and he's supposedly supposed to be the young player guru, but all I've seen him do since he's been here is not use any of the young players and not give them any opportunity. That's what I've seen. And he's sending Seiko to the G League and just things that I just don't like. His rotations are very questionable. And I feel like last year Blake Griffin kind of carried him. He overshadowed a lot of the mistakes that Dwayne Casey was making, and the proof is in the pudding with how we were playing. We were 41-41. So I just feel like he's been underachieving. And I know I'm being really harsh on Dwayne Casey, but this team could be so much better if he would just coach better. I know that sounds simple, but the team could be so much better.
So you're going Flip Sanders is better than him? Is that what I heard?
As of now,
I think
we'll see what Dwayne Casey does in the future.
It's a good answer. I like it because it's probably true. But you got to look at it this way, man. He inherited Larry Brown's team, who already won an NBA championship, and Dwayne Casey inherited Stan Van Gundy's team, who only made the playoffs one time with a lot of bad contracts.
And got rid of a lot of young talent to be used in the first place.
Right. So, I mean, it's two different situations. So,
nothing to do with the rotations, though.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's right.
But it is two different.
Because I don't think I don't think our roster was ever like that bad. It's just Stan Van Gundy didn't know what he was doing, and Dwayne Casey did a little bit better. But a better coach would take our roster to further heights. So,
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to argue with it. I think that Larry Brown and Flip Sanders got way more defensively out of their players than Dwayne Casey is right now. But I think the players respect and like Dwayne Casey. So whenever the players like the coach, like I'm not sure too many of the players liked Stan Van Gundy because he was yelling and acting a fool on TV, and there was no results. And quite frankly, when you say dumb stuff, just like build a wall, quote, that's not Donald Trump. That was Stan Van Gundy first before you ever heard of Donald Trump running for president. That was his defensive plan, was to build a effing wall, quote unquote. Look it up. Look it up on YouTube. You can find
it, man. You know, look, man. We trying to talk about things that's happy and positive. Let's stop talking about Stan Van Gundy. Like,
You're right.
My God,
you're right.
Dude said build a wall. like I'm done.
Really?
Look it up. YouTube it.
Like, oh man, this guy's a fool. I'm gonna keep it PG, but this guy's a freaking idiot, bro. Man.
So my whole point being, before I went on that sidetrack, there is, I think the locker room's happier under Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey, the very first year, was not perfect, but was enough to get this team into the playoffs. Now we got more talent. He still has not adjusted his rotations, but at the same time, we don't really know what our rotations are going to be yet because we haven't been healthy yet. Once Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose are officially back, we can see a little bit clearer. But then we have to wait for Reggie Jackson to come back to see what the official rotation is going to be, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So, I mean, there's still a lot of question marks with how this team should be used. And I think once Blake Griffin comes back, he's going to voice his opinion on who should be out there with him because you can't have Bruce Brown out there with him. I think you're going to have to put Luke and Mykhailiuk out there together, which I think that's going to be a very dangerous lineup. Come down to it. I wish Casey would run that a little bit more often, but we will see what's going to happen, man.
You know, the one thing about Dwayne Casey that confuses me is he won't go all in, but like I mean, we see coaches do this all the time, but just the one time go for offense. He will never put out a lineup of D-Rose and Luke and C and Blake Griffin and then have another shooter on the court instead of Andre and just go small like a Tony Snell or somebody like Marquise Morris to play some defense. But he never just puts all of the shooters on the court. And when he does put all the shooters on the court, it's just a bunch of guards. No forward. It's just like, I'm going to put 4 guards on the court. That don't make no sense at all. So I hope he is able to find a balance in that area.
Here you go, J-Mo. Benjamin Foe said number 5 Penn State getting beat right now. LOL.
I'm watching it right. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now too on my TV, right beside the computer.
Yeah, they Minnesota's 8-0 too though, so don't sleep on them.
You guys got a favorite for
Capella? No, hecky no.
You got a favorite for what?
Nowhere near on Drummond level, bro. Somebody said trade Drummond for Capella. Are you crazy, guys?
Bro, Capella, bro. Capella's overrated,
dribble, man.
Capella's overrated, man. I'm sorry. He's one of the most overrated in the league, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
And the thing about Capella, man, is the entire time he's been played, he's had 2 all-star point guards.
Right.
I was saying, how good would James Harden be if he had Andre Drummond to throw to instead of Capella?
Look at just Andre's rebounds would skyrocket all off the missed threes because Harden would feel way more comfortable hoisting it up there. Andre's got his back.
All Capella does is catch the whole game. That's all he does. That's the only purpose.
Oh, we got KSI versus Logan Paul. You guys are barking up the wrong tree here, man. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, don't nobody care about no KSI. We can talk about real boxing, you know. We can talk about real boxers like Canelo and stuff like that, but Earl Spence, rest up.
So a lot of people in here, man, aren't happy with Drummond, man. I don't. Quite frankly,
he been balling this
I
season.
don't know basketball.
I'm not trying to throw anyone underneath the bus here because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But right now, Andre's the top 3 center in the league.
I want everyone listening to understand something. Everyone on this panel knows I'm not really a big fan of Andre Drummond at all. But one thing about me is I'm unbiased with some players that I don't necessarily like that much, so I can treat them fairly. Drummond balling out. The eye test and the numbers tell you that. It's nothing.
I mean,
I don't know how you can go against that. The dude when a dude is averaging 20 and 19. What are we talking about? It don't make sense. And I'm not even the biggest Drummond fan, but it's just basic knowledge. Look at what's happening.
Let me ask you guys this right quick. Are people giving him the Russell Westbrook treatment and the fact that he gets so many 2020s, it's not even special anymore the way Westbrook gets triple doubles? Because when Westbrook was averaging a triple double, we were all shocked. But he did it so much we didn't care anymore. Are people getting kind of turn that blind eye to Dre for that?
Well, as everyone knows, Westbrook's my favorite player, so I'll tell you this. Westbrook's still averaging a triple-double. And Andre will average 20-20 no matter where he went. And that's why, even if people do treat them like that, that's what makes it legitimate. It would be crazy to think that Russ go in Houston and average another triple-double with Hart, but when he does it, we're going to be like, oh, wow. Dre in another system, he might be more productive. So I don't think the rebounds are empty. I just think people have problems with Andre not being able to score. Now he's much better at scoring than he has been in some years. He can still get much better. He still has a lot of holes in his offensive game, but at least I know he can score now.
Yeah. I'm like Damo. I've never been the biggest Andre Drummond fan, but this year, I can't really say he's been bad. I can't really criticize him. Because he's kept this. He's the reason why this team has won the games it's won this year. So, and he's been balling. He's been scoring. He's really been carrying this team. Really, him and D Rose have really been carrying this team. So you can't really complain about his play.
Let me ask you this, guys, because it's going on in the chat. I'm gonna pass it to you, Nomus, to get your opinion on it. But a lot of people are mad with Andre dribbling the ball up. Nomus J, man, what are your thoughts about Andre bringing the ball up the court?
People treat him and I know, I'm sorry for the expression, but people think he's a exotic dancer. I think of the movie Players Club, what they want somebody to do all the time. I have got a family situation. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, no. You gotta take care of your family first. So CA3, man, I'm gonna pass it to you, man. What do you think about Andre bringing the ball up the court and dribbling around too much?
I'm not the biggest fan of it because a 6'10" dude that's predominantly a paint big. You shouldn't be dribbling the ball, but I don't think he should be dribbling the ball. He should probably give it up.
At the same time, though, it's no different than watching Karl-Anthony Towns do it or Embiid do it. They all push it up the court.
Yeah,
Embiid and Karl don't push it up the court as much as Drummond do. And I feel like Drummond is such a traditional center that seeing him dribble the ball up the court kind of put a bad taste in your mouth. Name me another guy that was a true center like Drummond that actually dribbled the ball up the court. But he has the skill to do so. The thing about Drummond is he likes to do it too much. Sometimes the point guard will be standing right next to him and he'll still be dribbling up the court. I'm like, what are you doing? Give the ball to whoever is supposed to be the point guard.
Right.
But besides that, I don't have a problem with him doing it. It's because, look, man, I'm about letting players be themselves. Let Drummond use all of his abilities. The guy is a center who can dribble really well. We've seen Drummond cross people over. The guy has dribbling skills, and I'm not saying him be a point center or anything like that, but let him use his skills. Didn't he have 6 assists when we beat the Knicks? Let him use his skills. Just don't do it too much, and if the point guard is there, give them the freaking ball. But I love the fact that Drummond can dribble. It just gives us another dynamic. When you have Drummond can dribble, Blake can dribble, Reggie or D Rose or whatever could dribble. Then you got Luke can dribble. having people that can dribble and shoot all of those skills, and we know Drummond's not a shooter, but it really helps.
Hey, Tony, man, you're giving me a good idea here. I might take you up on this. He said someone should market T-shirts that say Andre Drummond 2020 and 2020. Not a bad T-shirt idea. Nomus, man, you back?
Yeah. All right. So, like I was saying,
you left off that exotic dancer.
Yeah, because it's like 1 minute when Andre does. I remember back when the last time the Pistons made the playoffs before Blake Griffin got here. After that year, everybody was like, he needs to stop doing this. He needs to stop doing that. So he started doing something different. Then everybody started complaining about that. And it's like, why? It's every time y'all say this guy needs to do something, now it's a problem. The next year when he starts doing it, everybody said he needs to develop a post game and develop this and learn how to score and dribble the ball more. As soon as he starts doing it, now everybody has a problem with it. And that's why I can't always feed into it. It's like they're not your little dancers. You can't just get all in your feelings when they do one thing that you didn't want to do. Now people want to dump more, now this and that and the third. Look, if he's dribbling and it opens up the offense, let him do it. I mean, we had to deal with Blake doing it all year last year. Not that we want Dre to do it all the time, but it's just that, right now your roster's somewhat thin due to injuries. So if it gives him the opportunity to show a skill set, do it. And the thing is, to answer the other thing about this whole trading Andre, again, I don't care what your problem is with him. If you ain't got nobody better, then I don't want to trade him right now. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
That's a good point to answer this question in from Des B. He wants to know, who would you trade Drummond for if you're going to trade Andre Drummond?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Because there's not going to be too many centers on the market.
I'm gonna make this funny so you understand.
I like
player
it.
I would trade Drummond for, so people could understand. This is the kind of player I would trade Drummond for. I would trade Drummond for Blake Griffin. So you found me a player as good as Blake Griffin, that's tall like him. I'll trade Drummond for him. A guy that's a star, and we know he's a star, and it's not a debate. Regardless of what you think of Blake Griffin and his injuries, been a star his whole career, been a superstar at points in his career. If you find a player as good as Blake, okay. Blake is pretty good. 13 All NBA. He's a pretty good player, top 15 player. So find me a top 15 player, and I'll trade them for Drummond.
We got another super chat in from Bravo, man. Bravo, you're the real MVP, man. You're coming in clutch today. If Dre doesn't turn it over, he gets it. Morris travel. Morris has been turning the ball over quite a lot. Don't know what's going on with that, but I can agree.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Andre. I think he can really dribble. I think that's a talent, man. Like, he was a point guard. He had a growth spurt. It's not like he's amazing at it, but for center, he's the best dribbling center in the NBA. So let him dribble. And it's not like he's trying to be a guard. He's just dribbling the ball up the court. Like, it ain't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You can't have him dribbling. It's just when he dribbles the ball up the court and tries to attack the rim on a fast break like a guard, where you be like, what are you doing? And sometimes he makes it, though, so it confuses you. But I don't want you trying to do nothing like that.
The thing about Andre, though, is he's starting to realize how big he is. Watch him on the block. He is getting more confident in that post hook. That is going down way more. So then once he hits that one or two times or gets an offensive rebound or dunk or whatever it may be, then guess what he does the next time? He'll back him down, face him up, fake one way, cross him over the other. And as a center, you're not used to having to guard a person crossing you over like that close to the hoop. So he's getting a lot of these buckets pretty close, and it's coming from his dribbling ability. So you don't want to tell Andre, stop dribbling, because when you're averaging 20 points, you have to dribble the ball. It's almost impossible to score 20 points a game without dribbling it in today's NBA. So he's getting his buckets by dribbling, man.
But the trip was he was averaging 20 without barely having to dribble. And people were complaining about that. So now as soon as he's dribbling and doing it, it's still some whining. When is it going to stop? I don't care if you like the guy or not. Give the guy credit where credit is due. Yeah. Everybody always want to do that when it comes to a top 15 player. Oh, give him credit where credit is due. But when somebody is showing that people want to fund of shows improvement, nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when you give me something better at his position and I can feel comfortable with and say, okay, he's ready to be traded, then I'll trade him. Until then, no, he's not going nowhere.
And you can't. I think Jamo had a good point, man. And unless you can find a player like Blake Griffin to trade for, there's not going to be too many people you're going to trade Andre for. Excuse me. The numbers don't tell you the whole story. Andre is more than just a 2020 machine. Andre, look at the plus minus minutes if you're in the analytics, because when Andre is on the court, this is with Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, or no Blake Griffin or Derrick Rose. It does not matter who's on the court. Andre is the most important Piston out there. I don't care who it is. If Andre is not on the court, we are going to have a difficult time winning the game just because of every time he's out there, teams don't attack the rim as much. They try to get him into foul trouble, but when he's not getting into foul trouble, teams aren't scoring inside as much. I said it earlier in the stream, but for people who weren't in here, they hear it. Against Indiana, before Andre had 3 personal fouls, was taken out of the game with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter, we were plus 11 in the plus minus. We were up 11 points. When they took Andre Drummond out, we were negative 15. That is night and day difference. You cannot replace that by trading away a player. And if you trade him away for a center like Capella, Capella's not going to do that. Capella might be a better defender, but he's not.
You send Capella with some other people.
I mean, if you're going to trade Capella for Drummond, there better be a first round draft pick in there. You better throw in Eric Gordon.
I'll say Eric Gordon. And I would definitely take a draft pick. That might be something to consider, but I don't think they would get rid of him.
No.
But with Drummond, the Detroit fan base is hilarious. Detroit is the only fan base, and I was just thinking about this while you were talking. We're the only fan base that got a star center, and we want to trade.
Right.
Carl Anthony Towns, don't nobody want to trade him. Don't nobody want to trade Jokic. Don't nobody want to trade even Capella. Don't nobody want to trade Gobert. Don't nobody want to trade Joel Embiid. Don't nobody want to trade Miles Turner. But Drummond, everybody like, yo, he gotta go. I just find it very hilarious, man. He's better than like half of the guys I mentioned.
I mean, Drummond. He's one of the best centers in the league, man. Like, what's the point of trading a guy like that? And there's nobody. And he's the best rebounder in the league. Like, what's the point of trading somebody like that? He's a really good defender in this league. Why do we want to trade him? It makes no sense. But whatever.
Well, you would think Detroit fans would realize how important rebounding is. All of our teams that have won NBA championships were some of the best rebounding teams in the league. The Bad Boys had Dennis Rodman, probably the greatest rebounder of all time, who Andre gets compared a lot to, who is bigger than Rodman and has all the potential in there. They had Bill Laimbeer. He was a good position rebounder. He's not very athletic, but he got in position to do it. Rick Mahorn was a good rebounder. John Sally was a good rebounder. That whole team had rebounders almost at every position. Then you go to the 04 Pistons, man. Ben Wallace, probably one of the most underrated rebounders of all time. Rasheed Wallace, not super good rebounder, but good.
This comment is interesting. I think we should talk about it since we're talking about Andre. He says, Andre Drummond is the lead at rebounding only, but everybody wants him to either offensively or defensively, and he's just average at both. You don't really see no go-to move offensively. Well, I don't think he's average at offense or defense. To be honest, you score 20, you at least above average.
He's way above average on defense. I don't know about average on defense, but he's way above average on defense.
He's definitely above. He's above average on defense, and to me, so you want him to be like what? You want him to be like prime Shaq mixed with LeBron James or something. So he got to be the best rebounder of all time. Then he got to score 30, and he got to be a lockdown defender. Dang, bro, that's a lot. I don't know nobody else in the league like that, man. Even unless you want to say Embiid, but Embiid is he's a good defender, but he's not a lockdown defender.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Drummond can play defense. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. He averaged 20 points a game.
I mean, only player to have 4 seasons of 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 100 blocks, 100 steals. So it's not like he's not playing defense. He's just a different kind of defender. You look at Miles Turner and Gobert, who have averaged 4 blocks per game and won Defensive Player of the Year and stuff like that, or have been in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Andre gets more steals. He's a different kind of center. He's got quick hands. He's different. It's not traditional at rim protecting. He gets 2 blocks a game. That's not bad at all. Is it Ben Wallace or
Great.
Bill
What you
Laimbeer?
mean?
No.
That's more than Andre. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
people are looking at Gobert and Miles Turner, who got 4 blocks a game. Are like, man, why
Bro,
can't
can
Dre do
Gobert-
this? And they don't watch it.
I mean-
tell me this, bro. 1-on-1, who winning, Drummer or Gobert? Can Gobert score? No.
He's out here airballing hook shots.
No. Can he pass? No. Can he shoot? No. All he do is play elite defense. So if you want to compare him to Drummond, he's elite at one thing, Gobert is. Defense. What else is he good at?
Nothing else.
Nothing. And at least Drummond is elite at rebounding, and he's good at offense and defense. So if you want to go that route, Clint Capella, what is he? He's not even elite. He ain't elite at anything. He's a good defender, but he's not elite. So if we want to go that route, I'm just saying.
Why are we comparing him to Ben Wallace? Ben Wallace is one of the dude literally won 2 straight defense player of the years, bro. Why are we comparing him to Ben Wallace, bro? Come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't do that, man.
the thing about it though is, all the big men Detroit have been different. They're not the same, but all of our championship teams have had some of the best big men in the league. So I think if you're going to build a championship team, what better way to do it around than Andre? It's what Detroit basketball is. This team's different, man. This whole organization, this has a culture of being a tough defensive team. There's not too many teams in the league that have culture of doing it the same way. We have done it 3 times the exact same way, and we for some reason haven't built the team the same way. So I mean, when you got a legacy, when you got some of the best players. What's that, JMO?
No, go ahead.
I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was gonna say that he was saying that Drummond needs a true point guard. Yeah, that's one thing about Drummond. He's never had a point guard. You put him with any good point guard in the NBA, like this dude is a different level. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you seen what he's doing.
Kemba Walker. You put him with my boy Lonzo. You put him with Ben Simmons. Put him with a real point guard. You even put him with Steph Curry. Like you put him with Russell Westbrook or Kyrie. Somebody really good. He's a much more productive player than he was. I'm talking about when he was younger. Like now he's just really good. But when he was younger, if he had a point guard, he would have been much more productive.
Bro, what you see it now with even Bruce, man. Like even Bruce, when they distribute the ball, like the play design be so smooth with it. Like I swear, he becomes such an extension on the offense. It's like, where has it been all our life? That's the only reason why I said this has been cool without Reggie and them, because with Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown, you've been seeing the ball movement and they go through him. Finally, some kind of way we're getting the ball through him. Like we've been wanting, and you see what's happening. He's the reason why we're still in the games most of the time. They're using him finally he should have been used years ago. And now people want to throw that away.
I think a lot of the Detroit fan base is miserable because we haven't won anything in so long. I think that's part of why people are so negative. And that's not just for the Pistons. It's for everybody. I think the Wings get a pass because, they dominated for so long. But we got a super chat in from Tony. He sent in $1.99. I appreciate it. He said, always if Detroit wins a title, they got a number 1 rebounder. And it's pretty much been the case all 3 times. They led the league in rebounding all 3 of those years. So you can't tell me rebounding is not important. Benjamin Foe said earlier that the Raptors were in the bottom of the league in rebounding and won the championship still. But at the same time, man, they had one of the best defenses in the league. You had the best player in Kawhi.
The one thing that offsets rebounding is shooting. And the Raptors were the best shooting team in the playoffs, especially from 3-point range.
Well, the Raptors had shooters all across the board, bro.
Golden State wasn't an elite rebounding team, but they had shooters.
If you look at Toronto, if you look at their lineup, all the players that had in, at the time, they all had a 3-point threat. They all could shoot the 3, bro. All 5 positions can shoot the 3, bro. Every lineup they had, bro. Think about that.
Don Burr says Stafford Drummond careers are being wasted here. That's simple. I agree with the Matthew Stafford one.
Yeah.
But Andre's not 30 yet. Stafford's on the plus side of 30. So, unless this team
right now.
This team's doing it's at least trying to build a contender, whether it's going to work or not. Adding Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, they're at least putting together some names to help Drummond out. Stafford, it's the Lions. That's the best answer I got for it. I don't understand why. This is one of Stafford's best years.
Will be the equivalent of Stafford is the equivalent of LeBron James when he was with Cleveland and he was carrying that bum team. They was winning 60 games and still losing.
Right. Absolutely.
39, 8-8, and they lost. He's like, that's Stafford, bro.
The thing that makes Stafford so worse is he's having an MVP season, and he's not going to be able to continue to be in the race because of the record, Go ahead, now. What do you got for us?
No, I was going to say is that the sad thing is for the Pistons fans have to still understand, we are still going through from everything from when our original owner died all the way up to what Dumars did wrong in the organization, then basically, Stan Van Gundy coming here. We're still suffering through those effects. And that's why our money and stuff is still always tied up. And then when you took our young talent away and traded away and got garbage for it and bad contracts, that falls on new head coach. And that's what people also have to understand that Stefanski is making moves that sometimes seems sexy and cool to us. And then he makes moves that look boneheaded, but it's probably for the best, greater good. Like that draft pick, it was still stupid to give up on a young, talented prospect that could have been Carson Edwards or any one of the guys. But I could at the same time, not to play devil's advocate, I can understand why he did it. You know how many assets we thrown away for nothing? Again, like when you think about Marcus Morris, we traded him to me for nothing, just eventually traded Blake Griffin. We could have kept Marcus Morris and did that a different route. Like, it started Luke Kennard in his rookie year if you had a real head coach. And you know what I'm saying? And then we could have did so many things different that cost us in the long run. Now it's like we're finally getting a chance to get young talent. And because we can't make minutes for a lot of those guys, it seems like it's all because of Dwayne Casey. But one thing I can say is the difference between Dwayne Casey and past coach is that with our point guards and all our guards being hurt, we would have probably found some street veteran to try to replace those guys and make him a starter and left Bruce Brown them in the dirt. At least he's getting a chance to show what he can do. That's development at some point. It may not be what everybody likes or wants or agree with, but at least somebody young is getting the opportunity. Luke Kennard is starting technically. And that's something to say, hey, I didn't expect to see Steve McCollum this early, and we're seeing him. Yeah, that's something.
Hey, Luke Kennard is starting, and you see what he's doing, man. That's all I'm saying.
Right. If he can get his adjustments right, you know what I'm saying, people are going to go right back into buying into the Pistons stock all over again. And I'll be sitting out there with my big #1 fan glove pointing out all the fake.
I think you make a good point about the Pistons making bad deals and stuff. But to the point of the Marcus Morris and the Blake Griffin deal, I don't think too many teams were in the loop of Blake Griffin being available. I mean, when that happened, it shocked the world. I remember seeing that happen and watching my phone. I'm like, oh, there's no way that's real. Why would they trade Blake Griffin after they just signed him to like the super max or whatever? So I think if the Pistons would have known they would have been in play for that, they could have held on to Marcus Morris, but they would have to change the trade up because it would be Bradley. So I don't
think the Blake Griffin trade was a bad trade.
No.
Y'all misunderstood with me. What I'm saying is
I never like the trade and the benefits from it though.
I'm saying what y'all misunderstood is that I felt that it was a way that I felt we should have never just traded Marcus Morris away from the first place because we gave up a draft pick in that trade too, just to get Avery Bradley, who technically did not work out and was wanting a big contract. And it's like, okay, yeah, and that ended up turning into out of nowhere a Blake Griffin deal we still see coming, but you got to put yourself in this situation. What if Blake Griffin didn't get put up for trade? What would our team had looked like then? We'd probably just been the same team waiting for Reggie to come back and hope we can make a playoff run. And that's why I'm like, I did not like that Marcus Morris trade because that hurt us, having depth at the positions. The next year when Dwayne Casey gets here, guess what? We got no small forwards. And then the one we had, we traded him away. We had to lean on whoever we had to bring in there. And that's why I said it's the little small stuff that people don't understand that can really tear your organization down. Now, I know the whole Dinwiddie thing was up in the air. Sometimes those issues may have been between him and the head coach. Who knows? Nobody truly knows. But you got to know Dwayne Casey probably was more wrong. I mean, just look at KCP. I obviously KCP wasn't the best player in the world, but you still shouldn't have made him play 43 minutes after a shoulder injury. That's just not right. You know what I'm saying? Look at the things they do. They put their players in the back burner. They make them not want to come here, and they make other people not want to come here. And that's what really ruins this organization. It's the organization. It's the people that run the stuff. That's why I'm not really the biggest shooter on Ed Stefanski, because I think he's actually doing a solid job. He makes the moves that don't seem right, but it's like you understand it. Like, okay, he's got to. He's trying to give us access to the future. He don't want the same thing to keep occurring that happened in history. I can understand why he did what he did in the draft. I hate to say it like that, but I can understand.
Man, no, you can understand it all you want. For giving up the 30th pick, there's no excuse. I'm sorry.
I get, and you're right, but I'm not saying I would have did it, but I understand. I get where he's coming from. That's all I did. I'm not saying
get where you're coming from and you wrong is what I'm saying. Like that was a mistake. You don't give up on Carson Edwards, man. Like, no.
Porter Jr.
Especially when we need a point guard. Imagine if we had him right now. Oh my God. Like, him and Luke Kennard and Derrick Rose, like, we wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, Edwards, man, that dude's a shooter, man. That's all I got to say.
So this question's coming in from Kenny, and this was one of our topics. We just haven't got to it yet. So thank you, Kenny, for going to do it. But he wants to know, what do you guys think Luke Kennard's scoring average will be at the end of the year? And then I'm going to add to it, do you think Luke Kennard can continue to play at this high level that he's been doing it so far this season? CA3, man, we're going to start with you, man. What do you think Luke Kennard's scoring average will be at the end of the year?
I think Luke Kennard's scoring average will be 17 points per game. And I think he can't keep up this play because I think Dwayne Casey is finally learning his lesson. He's starting to play him more. If he keeps getting his minutes, I think he'll produce.
So what's your final point per game prediction?
Yeah, I said 17.
17? No mistake, man. What do you got for Luke Kennard's points per game average towards the end of the year?
If I had to say, depending if he can stay consistent, I say around 16, 17 points. I'll even go far as say 18 because the big issue sometimes with me that threw Luke Kennard off last year was the fact that he started off injured. And when you're young like that in your second year, you get an injury like that, and you have to find your spots to pick your places. And then you got a messy roster that, with a messy coaching staff that's kind of sometimes out of whack. That can throw everybody off track, and you would just have your games where you're in and out. But now he's getting a chance to be on fire. So I think he could push this to 18 points per game. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's getting a shot, as long as he stays healthy, that's going to be the big thing right there. It's his health. It's not his ability. It's his health. He can stay healthy early and continue to build off on what he's doing right now. Oh, he'll definitely be 18 points per game. No less than 17.
Absolutely, man. I'm liking what we're seeing from Luke. He looks comfortable. He looks relaxed. He's averaging an 18 right now, so that'd be pretty good pace for him to average it out. J-Mo, man.
One little thing I want to say too.
Ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go
the
ahead.
other thing I should tell J-Mo this.
Averaging 16.8, but if he averaged at 18, what?
I just pulled it up on NBA.com. It says he's averaging 18 even right now.
What was you saying, Omi?
No, I was gonna say what also has been helping him too lately. Remember what I used to say last season, J-Mo? If he can clean up on those rebounds and put them back in and shoot, that's been showing up this year too.
I think Luke Kennard, if he's at 18 now, I was gonna say he was gonna average 18, but I'll bump him up to 19 points a game. It just like I said, Luke, I've been saying this and I've been arguing, not even arguing, but debating with people. And I've been talking about this for years now, literally since we drafted. I think this dude is an all-star in the East, at least. He's an all-star, and we just got to continue to use his talent. As long as we keep him starting, I don't care if he has a bad game here or there. He needs to be out there. Keep him starting. Keep his minutes good. Keep the confidence in him. When he makes mistakes, don't bench him. And let him use his skills and talents. Let him explore his game to see what he can do. When I'm talking about from a point guard and ball handling perspective, but I only think Luke Kennard is going to get better. I've said, to me, he's a young J.J. Redick. Only difference is he can dribble and hit you he can hit you with step backs, and he can pass the ball. Those are things that J.J. Redick can't really do. Like he's really like literally off the dribble type of guy. So he has that wicked shooting ability, man. So I think he could average 18, 19 easily. When Blake comes back, yeah, I think just keep him in the starting lineup. That's the one thing I'm concerned with. I don't know how productive he'll be if he starts getting pitching. He'll still be productive, but I just think it's a waste. You gotta let he's the guy we picked over Donovan Mitchell, man. I'm just being honest. If we not playing him and he's this talented, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always had an issue with him not Bruce Brown playing over him, and Bruce Brown wasn't necessarily a better player. I didn't understand why our first round pick is getting benched for a second round pick that's not better. It didn't make sense. But now that all of that's over with, and he was forced, Dwayne Casey was forced to start Luke Kennard. Otherwise, he wouldn't be starting. I think he's doing well, and he'll only do better. I think this guy can really be an all-star.
So let me ask you guys this, because right now Luke's averaging 18, Derrick Rose is averaging 21, Dre's averaging 20. Whenever Blake comes back, he's going to be averaging 20 plus. Someone's going to have to take a point per game cut there. I don't think there's going to be any chance we're going to have 4 people in the year averaging 20 points per game. And I think it might be, unfortunately, it might be Luke Kennard, because I think some of his touches are going to go down when Blake Griffin and D Rose come back. Now, I liked D Rose and Luke playing together because they work together. So if that's the case, who knows? But do you guys think we can end the year with 4 people averaging almost 20 points per game, Nomas?
I think Blake would average 23 instead of 24, and then D Rose point average will go down because he'll be the one coming off the bench. And then Andre might go down to 19, but Luke, I think Luke, if he doesn't go up to 19, he'll just stay at 18, 17, because he's going to get enough shots to be productive. I think they're finding ways to use him in offense. And end of the day, before we had D Rose, Luke was the second most best offensive weapon on the team. Even with D Rose on the team, we just talking about from scoring, still might be the second best offensive weapon. So he's going to get shots. He just got to find out the best way to play with Blake Griffin. Once they get that chemistry together, I think it would be D Rose numbers that will go down and Blake's a little bit. He might average 22, because he doesn't have to do as much.
Right. No, but what's your thoughts on that, man? You think we can finish the year with 4 people averaging 20?
I actually believe so, and not because I'm just some crazy Piston believer, but my answer is going to be real bland. Y'all may not like it. Here's the thing. If you get Blake Griffin and D Rose back, okay, D Rose obviously should, like you say, should still come off the bench. The thing is, I wouldn't mind still. I know I'm gonna get a lot of last risk. I still wouldn't mind having Blake and Bruce Brown still on the court together, because we know he's the oddball one out. Bruce just needs to help make sure the ball is being moved around, and let Luke Kennard do the same thing they're doing, but ease Blake Griffin back into it. And if you know Blake Griffin's still gonna give you 20 something every game. So, and with Dre there, and that may drop Dre's numbers down potentially to 18. He might be the one that drops first because he's the center. It won't directly go to him as much, but it still will, because you don't want to overpower Blake as soon as he get healthy. And my thing is, you'll still stay around that area if you keep Bruce Brown, because he's the guy that can help balance the roster. He's not the extra shooter that's getting 20 points a game. He's just a guy who attached the rim here and there, can give you 12, maybe 14. Maybe if it's his game, he might pop and give you a 20-point game here and there. But other than that, he's the guy that's helped set the energy and the tone of the offense, and the extra playmate guy. And you think about it, this was Stefanski and Dwayne Casey won. They wanted multiple guys on this team that can do something with the ball outside of just shoot and then maybe a couple dribbles. They want guys who can help move the ball around and set the space up. So I think there will still be a good
lineup is clear.
And I think
lineup is clear.
And you keep Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown together starting along with Blake and whoever the small four, if you want Snell there, or you can put he fit right into the offense. I think that's the lineup. And I think they can still score almost 20 points a game.
Yeah, that lineup sounds deadly. Tony Snell, because he's been great when it comes to shooting. That's all I'll give him. That's what he's
supposed to do. And even when Reggie comes back, he's ready on the bench.
Drummond, Luke Kennard, and Bruce Brown, that's what we should be using. I don't know if Dwayne Casey is going to use that lineup, but that should be the lineup. And I think that lineup is an absolute 150% problem. And when Seiko, gets up, then you replace Tony Snell with Seiko.
I mean, like having two guys who can playmate at 1 and 2 and pass the ball around. Are you crazy? You taking all the stress off Blake Griffin, and you're using all his star power to put points on the board. And then you got Andre down there, and then even Snell is proven to be more than what we thought he was a little bit so far. I mean, he's out there dunking like he's freaking Jordan.
Yeah, man. Like the best thing about this lineup is Bruce Brown and Tony Snell can guard the people on the perimeter. So Luke and Blake don't have to do it. And Luke and Blake can play defense off of them, and then you have Drummond doing what he's doing. So that's the main reason why I like the lineup, because, like, look, man, no offense to Reggie, we don't need you. Like, you ruin everything. That's why you got to have Bruce out there instead of a Reggie. And I don't know what we're going to do with Reggie when he comes back. Like, I don't know what his purpose is on this team if Luke and Bruce are playing great in the backcourt. Like, that. Just like what Drew said, that's the starting backcourt right there.
Well, Reggie can still play the 2 guard off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got Bruce. I mean, not Bruce, but you got D Rose.
I mean, but still, Reggie can still give you at least 14 off the bench.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like Derrick Rose and Reggie.
But how would he feel coming off the bench for Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard?
But it's not how he gonna feel. He got his injury kept him out for what, a couple months now? How you just gonna come and jump back into the starting rotation that soon, though? That's my thing. That's Stan Van Gundy stuff there. If you got a player that's been out for a few months, whatever the injury was, you shouldn't force him back in the starting lineup. That throws the chemistry off. You gotta put him on the bench. Screw the money. It's about chemistry. Team chemistry comes first. Then, if they feel they can work him back in there, then you do that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against Reggie, but it's about the chemistry first. So this lineup is working right now. They need to keep this lineup together once you bring Blake back in. And ease him back. That's why I say ease Blake back into the game, because Derrick Rose, he's just gonna take over his backup spot. But once you ease Blake back into the game, guess what? Everything should flow much sooner. But with Reggie, it's a little bit different, because you get you gotta choose if you want your young hot guard and Luke Kennard who can help playmate, or give Reggie a chance now. And then if he's slow to come back, that throws the chemistry off. So he'll still come back off the bench and be able to give you at least 12, 14 points just off standing back there and take a couple of jump shots and try and still see if he can penetrate again. He can at least still do that.
Yeah. Last thing I will say is when Blake come back, I know it seemed like they haven't been playing well together, but I kept telling you the reason that Luke didn't play well in the starting lineup is Reggie Jackson. But when Blake comes back, it's gonna help out Luke so much, because if y'all notice, I'm getting so sick of these 6'9" super defender, small forwards defending Luke Kennard because he's such a threat. Once Blake come back, they're going to have to defend Blake Griffin, and then now Luke Kennard can get an easier matchup. But, I remember they had Otto Porter defending Luke Kennard. I'm like, why is Otto Porter 6 himself defending Luke Kennard on the wing? And, a lot of other teams did that. They put their best small forward on Luke Kennard to play defense. And, once Blake come back, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's a good spot to end it, man. We talked about a lot. We've been on for an hour and a half. So let's go ahead and wrap things up with some final thoughts. CA3, let's start with you, man. What are your final thoughts in the evening tonight?
Man, it's nice to be back. School's been killing me, man. But as a Pistons fan, I feel like you guys should be happy with what the Pistons have done so far. Especially considering that. The Pistons, they weren't that good without Blake. They weren't good at all without Blake. They didn't really know how to survive without Blake. Now they're playing, they're losing games, but you guys see there's a lot of bright spots, of how the team's been playing without Blake. So, I think that's a positive. You guys should be positive. And Andre's been balling, if Andre can keep that up, and then we get Blake back, and Blake's playing, like he was last year when he was healthy. You guys expect big things from this team, and we still have Derrick Rose, coming back. I feel like you guys should expect big teams if everybody can go back, to 100% health, and you guys should expect good things from this team in the future when everybody gets healthy.
No, but Jay, man, what are your final thoughts on today's evening?
Oh man, first of all, like I said, I really like the new time frame we're using for today, for this Saturday round table. Above the rim, man. It's been good. A lot of basketball fans, y'all be out here on Saturday, so good to connect with y'all. And then we had a great show tonight. Got a little hot topics to go, man. Like I said, with Bruce Brown, it's gonna be an up and down thing with him scoring. He has to do better on finishing layups and stuff. And I like that he can draw fouls. That's another plus. But still, he has to get more consistent in finishing plays if he can't shoot. Man, everybody just stay safe out there, man. Keep sending your prayers out there to King, and hoping that he can get through the situation, man. I'm still working my way back to get healthy, and stick and subscribe to JMO and Drew and Carl, man, and the rest of the DSA members, man. And that's all I got. God bless everybody in the chat and on the stream.
Kaboom Box, man. We'll be back here Saturday at 1 p.m. again. Although next week it might be a little bit later. I have to work next Saturday. I'm not sure what time I'm going to get out, but I'm going to let you guys know. So stay posted for the community post, and I'll drop a video promoting it. JMO, Art of the City, man. What are your final thoughts on today's evening?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? And as Drew was saying, so we're switching the days to like Saturday at 1. Besides the one Saturday we'll be on later, that's just the normal routine. So we just doing something different for you guys. I see Micro Mike in the chat. What's up, Mike? I did want to say with the Pistons right now, as Carl was alluding to earlier, I like what the team has been doing, and I like how productive they've been able to be. Even in some of the losses, it looks like a bad loss, and maybe it is. But I've seen bright spots because no Blake Griffin, no Derrick Rose. I mean, Derrick Rose literally was looking like an MVP when he was playing for us. Like, I mean, he was playing in that bummy little Timberwolves uniform. Yeah, he was playing well, but he wasn't playing like this. I'm be 100 with you. So, having them is really hard to win games. And one more thing is Dwayne Casey just has to continue to believe in these young players, believe in Bruce and Luke, believe in your guards. They are the pillar. Andre Drummond has been playing amazing. I hope he continue to do that. I think once Blake and D-Rose get back, as I said before, I don't even know what our schedule looking like. I'm still saying maybe it'll take 2 games to get some chemistry, but I think we're gonna go on a big winning streak once Blake and D-Rose come. I'm telling you, we're gonna be we're gonna be a team that don't nobody want to play. So
I can agree with that last statement.
Go Pistons, man.
I like it.
Global Sports. Thank you, Global Sports, and Michael Mike. Thank y'all for joining us.
So if you guys have not heard it already, all DSA members in the description, that includes both Noble and Micro Mike. That includes Nomus J, CA3 Sports Talk, 313 JMO, Luke G's Field Review, Positively Detroit. I don't think I left anybody out.
Big take.
Big take, man. I'm sorry about that. Mind fart. Tomorrow, DSA's got you covered for all of your NFL Detroit Lions talk. We got live pregame. Mike, are you doing the play-by-play? I don't know if he is. Lions have been pretty bad of late. So we will see if Mike's doing live play-by-play. If not, you guys can just watch the game in peace. And then we got you covered with the live post-game. So DSA's got you covered for the Lions. If we win, we'll probably be pretty happy. If we lose, come in here and get your hot takes because there will be a lot probably of swearing and probably a lot of mature content. So for the younger viewers out there, probably don't want to watch it. Just don't tell your parents if you do. But with that being said, Instagram, Twitter in the description as well. Be sure to follow me on both those platforms. Everyone up here has Twitter. Follow them on Twitter. I know CA3's got Instagram, so follow him on Instagram. Pistons, man, are playing well without their 2 best scorers, although I think we might have to start putting Luke Kennard in that conversation of being our best scorer because this man can do it all. He has definitely been in his bag of late. Pistons are doing well without their best 2 players nonetheless. So keep it up. And when Blake and D-Rose comes back, this is going to take them to a whole nother level. And I agree with what JMO said. Come playoff time, man, we're going to be the team that no one's going to want to face because we got talent across the board. We're a tough matchup. Only team I'm scared of is Milwaukee. I just don't like our matchups against Milwaukee at all. And we don't have anyone to put on Giannis. So we will see. But all in all, the Pistons have been playing pretty well. I'm happy with what I've seen so far. And we're playing young talent, developing young talent in Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard. So you can't be too mad about that. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys later. Peace.